Hi, Cyber family. Always good to see you. Author Denise Hollingsworth, again, bringing you another segment of Beyond the Badge. This is where we discuss, have interesting conversations with our local officers who really are just giving so much to the community, and we're trying to improve relationships between law enforcement and the community all the time. You know what's been going on in communities around our country. So this is one tactic that we're using right here in Burlington City, New Jersey, to address some of the issues. We do other things too. Officer Chief Fine has the Officers in De-Escalation training. We also have Volunteers of America now working within our police station, where situations where you really don't need a law enforcement officer handling the situation. Instead, we have volunteers who help people who are homeless, who maybe have some sort of drug issue or mental health issue, or maybe they need a security deposit for an apartment. So there are all sorts of ways that law enforcement officers can be creative, innovative, and really bring a heightened level of service to our community. So one of the things that we do in this series is let you see behind the curtain. Who are these people that we call officers of the law? What are their passions? What are their values? But today I've got this really great woman by the name of MaKenzie Murphy, and she is a motocross champion. Imagine that. She just has a great story, and she's going to tell you how she confronted fears and how she is such a dynamic woman in a male-dominated world as a kid, as a teenager, and now working within our police force. So let me go find her. She's here waiting patiently. I'm running my mouth, and there she is. Hi, MaKenzie.
Hi.
Oh, how long have you been with the Burlington City Police Unit, the police force?
Since 2015, I started as a Class 1 police officer, and then became Class 2, and then finally got full-time in 2018.
Wow, 2018. Now, did you always want to be a police officer or something like that?
Well, I wanted to actually go into the military, the Air Force, but it didn't work out. Tried nursing, didn't work out, and then said I'm going to become a cop.
Yeah,
numbers are, and I love it now.
Right, exactly. You told me that earlier when we spoke. So, you know, one of the things that you and I talked about was that you have a very interesting background, a little untraditional for a woman or for a girl. And I posted a picture already of you on a dirt bike. At least that's what I call it. What do you call it?
A dirt bike. Yeah.
A dirt bike. Okay. And is that the same thing as motocross? I want to make sure I got that right.
No, it's the same thing.
Same thing as motocross. Okay, great. So start from the beginning here. Like, how were you ever interested in getting dirty on a dirt bike? I mean, how did that start?
Well, my parents both rode. My dad would race when we were younger. He'd have my older brother racing. And then, you know, for my dad to have us race all the time, he gave up racing. So he let all his kids race because I'm one of 6. So we all rode dirt bikes. And yeah, I got into it for my parents. And then my older brother, being as amazing as he was at racing, you know, made me want to do it even more and get more, you know, competitive with it.
That's amazing. So how young were you exactly?
My dad started me when I was 8 years old, 2002.
8 years old. So the dirt bikes that I see wouldn't be appropriate for an 8-year-old. So describe for me what you were riding at 8 years old.
I think my first one was a PW50. Could be wrong. I wish my dad was here right now to tell me, but I had training wheels on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Training wheels on a dirt bike?
Yeah, my dad had all of us start on a little small bike, and it had training wheels, and he'd be right there with us riding every time. And that's how I started, though.
Okay, so are these the same training wheels that I've seen on a like a regular bike, or special, maybe reinforced or glittery or something? I don't know.
They're kind of similar. I mean, there's
Uh-huh.
nothing special about them. They're basically
Uh-huh.
the same thing.
Uh-huh. Didn't you fall all the time?
I did. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I do remember one memory when I was so young, riding my bike with the training wheels, going down a really, downhill hill, and my dad was at the very bottom, and I come down, and I'm like screaming at the top of my lungs, and he's standing down there by the turn, and I just run right into him, and I almost push him into the little lake they had right there. So, yeah, I remember that was like so long ago. I had to have been 8 or 9.
Well, and you were never afraid, as far as you can remember, when you were that young. You were just like a daredevil.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do like jumps really when I was, younger, but I eased into it, and it was scary no matter what, because no matter what jump I came up to or anything, or I'm flying in the air, I'm crashing, it was all scary, but I got through it.
Oh, that is so amazing. Your mom just popped on, Robin.
Yeah, that's her.
She says she's so proud of you. I could only imagine both of your parents were probably so proud. I wish really your mother was here to say. As a matter of fact, do you think you can put her on speakerphone?
I can.
No.
Yeah, if you want me to.
Yeah, I really want to interview her, because I'm thinking, was she pulling out her hair? Was she pulling out her hair watching you on a bike like this, going fast, and you were 10 years old, 12 years old? I mean, I really would be very interested in knowing that.
They got to the point where they'd have like a can of beer with them or something.
Something to calm them down?
Yeah.
Hi, Robin.
Did you hear?
When I'm here, absolutely.
Yes, I bet you were. So, I know you had sons as well as MaKenzie. Was there ever a time when you thought, no, not my daughter, but I'll let my sons ride?
Well, I'm trying to determine how I'm going to listen here. I've got so many avenues and everything's echoing.
Did you hear her?
You can repeat it.
Mom, did you hear her?
Yeah.
Are you going to answer?
Wait, it's delayed, I guess.
Mom, come on. You can't. Are you going to answer or no?
It's okay. She wasn't prepared to be on the air. It's all right.
Five children at the time. So MaKenzie is the third from the oldest. Mm-hmm. So her older brother raced, and then MaKenzie started. And it was very stressful. We're running all over the place. My husband's picking up one that fell, and I'm like, oh, the other one fell. I got to pick her up too.
MaKenzie, ask her if she was ever like thinking about restraining you and only letting the boys ride. I don't know if she heard me.
Did you hear
I heard that. There was no restraining MaKenzie. She wanted to do it, and there was no stopping her. She loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so great. Well, I'm going to say goodbye, Robin, so we can continue with MaKenzie, but thanks for popping on. This was really impromptu. People probably think we planned this, but we didn't.
Obviously not.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye. That was great. I can't believe it. But thanks for watching, Robin. Also, we have one of my big fans, Sarah Noor. She's in Pakistan. I have an international crew that follows me, and she says that she can't wait to hear your story. So you continued on. So just tell us about the progress of your skills.
I wasn't the best, when I started. I was trying to, get into it. I wanted to be like my older brother, Taylor. Yes. He was, he was amazing at it. He went to all these different trainers, and I wanted to be just like him. So I really didn't hit my, I guess, like my peak until like 2011, beginning of 2012. And I really got the confidence more to rip my dirt bike around, go higher in the air on jumps, and, you know, battling guys and races and everything, like hitting handlebars and everything. And I crashed a lot, and, you know, but all I could do is just keep getting up and keep going. And, you know, I just got better every time I rode and raced or practiced. And you know, my dad was right there every time telling me what to do on this turn, that jump, and how fast, what gear to be in. And yeah, I mean, as time went on, I just got much better, and then it sadly ended.
So tell me about this 100-foot jump. You described it for me. I couldn't really imagine it, but kind of talk us through it. It was really interesting how you explained it.
Yes, that is one of my other favorite memories. It was in 2013, and I had just got a brand new KTM 250F. And it was amazing. And I was, you know, at this track called Pagoda in Pennsylvania, and never rode there before besides on the mini track when I was younger. So me and my dad are walking the track right before I rode. So we were walking it, and I see the big tabletop. It was 100-foot. And I'm telling my dad, like, I can do it. I can do it. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, I can do it. So he's talking me through how to, you know, go around to left-hand turn right before it. Then it's a straightaway and then a big tabletop. So he's telling me what gear to be in. And, you know, just once I get to the beginning of the jump, I got to be on full throttle, 5th gear wide open, and just clear the jump. So I was doing it in practice, and then I started racing, and it was just a women's race. And I come up to the turn, and I go for the jump, and I hit it, and I cleared it. And it was so amazing that day because the announcer said over the microphone, I guess it takes a New Jersey girl to come here and show the PA girls how to whisk a throttle. I was so happy. I was so proud. He's like, yeah, that's my girl. So.
Oh, absolutely. I can't imagine his heart. Your parents' hearts were probably like jumping out.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes you competed against guys, right?
I did. Yeah. I rode against guys and girls, and it was definitely harder with the guys. Battled a couple guys. Remember one time at ACA Raceway, I was battling this guy, and we went to a turn together, and I hit his back tire, and I flew over my handlebars, landed on my wrist, tore everything on my wrist. But I still finished the race. I pushed my bike over the finish line, and I finished. But my dad had a couple of dads come up to him in the past about me being out there with the guys, and because I beat their son or something. Not all the time, but it did happen.
You've got to share with the viewers what one dad said when you beat his son. Tell us that.
Well, I can't remember the exact words. It was so long ago, but I remember us just being at the trailer. I hope I'm telling this right. I remember us being at the trailer and some guy coming up, and I think he had his son's bike, and, you know, he was just giving my dad hell because I was out there with the guys, and, you know, I beat his son. Don't remember exact words, but.
Yeah, I think what you told me was that your hair was underneath your helmet, so you really couldn't tell, right?
Sometimes I would hide my hair so nobody would know I was a girl. And then, I don't know, I just, you know, then it was like, you know, it felt good to let people know I'm a girl and I'm killing it out here, and I'm doing all the whoops and the jumps and railing through the turns.
And then this father, after you beat his son, said something like, you should have said that she was a girl, as if like there was some kind of deception going on. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like I wasn't allowed to race with the guys, but, you know, meet the guy at a sport, they're going to be pretty pissed off.
Yeah, it was a little pride, I think, mixed in there, you know, somewhere. So MaKenzie, I'm going to try to share a couple of pictures, well, at least one picture. And if this doesn't work out, I'm going to post it actually, you know, on my Facebook page because you sent me such great pictures. But I'm going to try to share my screen. And while I'm sharing my screen, can you talk a little bit about what you do specifically in law enforcement now?
Well, I'm just, you know, regular patrol on the streets. I love the community. I love my department. I'm so happy. I'm, with the guys I work with, and, I'm just answering calls, medical calls, domestics, shootings, knives, knife incidents and alarm complaints. And it's very adrenaline rushing. It kind of gives me like adrenaline rush when I was racing, if I'm doing somebody's CPR, trying to save their life, and just everything with the department is really amazing. It's all, teamwork, and we're always there for each other. And it's so good. We always back each other up right away on every call. So you're like never alone, which is amazing.
Oh, it's a great crew there. So tell me, what are you seeing on your screen right now? I'm just wondering if I'm being successful at this.
Just you and me.
Okay, just the two of us. And I want to do, that's not what I want to do. So you know what? I am not going to stress myself out with this. I'm going to post your pictures on my Facebook page.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Let me just try it one more time. And my next question to you, if you want to think about it a second, is how did that experience in motocross prepare you for being in law enforcement?
Well, it didn't prepare me for a lot of things in law enforcement, but it definitely made me a strong person, and I would say somewhat fearless, because I did with racing. I'd crash a lot. I mean, you're going to crash a lot no matter what racing. So crashing, getting back up, and, knowing that just, you got to keep going and not overthinking anything. I try not to overthink things at work. It is a problem of mine. I always overthink. But now it's definitely made me very strong-willed and fearless, and, to look ahead of things and, not look back at stuff, and just keep going. And yeah.
Now, you've really been in two worlds. So if I can call it that, I suppose, maybe you'd characterize it differently, all of your life. So you were, you had a hobby, let's say, a hobby that was very untraditional, non-traditional for a woman, and now the same in your adult life. So as you're talking to young girls, giving them encouragement, young women thinking about their career, what would you say to them that would address a fear they may have of being in an environment that's dominated by men? What guidance would you give them?
Well, I love bringing up that I raced motocross and tell them how it's such a manly, sport. And I love showing my racing photos. And then they're just like, oh my gosh, that's you? Like, yeah, that's me. And I've had so many girls in like the schools in Burlington City who are like so amazed because I'm a police officer. And that makes me feel so good. And then, just love talking to them and tell them, ask them what they want to do. And some of them actually want to become a cop. I'm like, well, you do that. Like, you can become whatever you want to be. I know a lot of people didn't think I was going to get through the police academy as a class 2. I know a lot of people didn't, but I did. I graduated, and I, worked hard at PT, but now I love when little kids ask me, just questions about the job and being a girl. And
Yes.
That's why I love City, because the whole community, knows me somewhat, and I'm a girl, and little kids, and they're just asking all these questions, and it feels good helping them know that, the girls can do whatever they want to do, even if it's in a male dominant career, sport, anything.
Yeah. Good. And would you say that some of the things that you've done over all these years really helped you confront your fears, not just your fear of falling off of your bike, but just fears that may have been presented to you over the years?
Definitely wasn't expecting myself to become a cop. I always thought about it. Thought it'd be a great career, but it is scary at points, but very beneficial.
You've learned how to manage your fear. Can I say that?
I really wouldn't say I have too much fear going into much things, like even domestic, when you don't know what's going to happen, because I always have backup there. I always have, the guys behind me, and we're always together. So unless it's a solo situation, that's not going to be fear in me because, I am a girl. Not that I can't handle myself, but every situation is different, so you don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
I do still have a little fear sometimes.
And fear is just so normal. On other videos, that I've done, I often talk about fear and how critical it is that we acknowledge our fear, don't pretend like it isn't there, because fear has to be addressed.
Yeah.
And we have to push through it if we want to reach the next level in our lives, whether it's professionally or otherwise. We have to stare it in the face and move forward.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I'm never making it sound easy, but I think it's really, really important to do that. So, and we have to encourage the young women particularly, because sometimes it seems like boys, tell me if you agree, it seems like boys are almost encouraged to be powerful, strong, not be afraid of anything. If they cry, they get criticized for crying. And girls aren't usually socialized the same way. So I think sometimes we do have more fear.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm so happy that my, dad raised, my mom and dad both raised me in such a, insane, crazy sport since I was young, and definitely made me who I am today. I'm definitely not like a girly girl. I mean, I have my moments where I can dress girly, but I'm more of a tomboy. And no, I think every parent should have their kids in like a a very active sport when they're younger, because it's just going to teach them to be independent, have not have fear of things, and just not just be like a solo person, a team effort for anything.
Yes. Well, MaKenzie, thank you so much for sharing during this segment of Beyond the Badge. This is something that your chief, Chief Fine, John Fine, is very sincere about. He wants the community to know the officers, who they really are. This is part of community policing that we really believe in here. And we're encouraging other jurisdictions to do the same. It's been very valuable for us. So we thank you. We thank Chief Fine for all of his efforts in this regard. And how wonderful for you that you're with such a great team. And I'm sure your career is going to be great as you grow. There are a lot of good folks down there. So they got your back, girl. They got your back.
Oh, I know. That's why I love my department.
Yeah. All right. And we want to thank all our viewers. We thank you for the kind words. People are saying that they really appreciate your story. And of course, other people will be watching this later, and feel free to share it to those that you want to share it with as well. All right, so this is author Denise Hollingsworth and MaKenzie Murphy signing off, and we appreciate you hanging in there with us during this conversation. All right, MaKenzie, talk to you later.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. All right, signing off until next time.